Did you know that the average worker spends 28% of their work week managing email? To put that into context, that is 6 years of your working life over a 40-year career. That blew my mind when I heard that statistic, and I was like, there is no way I am letting this happen to me. And so I set out on a little bit of a journey to create a system that would work for me to manage my email. And I started timing myself every day with how fast I could manage my email. And I managed to get it down to 9 minutes a day. And so I'm going to teach you today my system for how to manage your inbox in 9 minutes a day, step by step. I'm going to walk you through exactly what I do to get it down to this. Because I know if you're anything like me, email can just feel so overwhelming, like it's this huge thing that always needs to be dealt with. There's never enough time for it. And it's just like this kind of thing that you just don't even really want to think about because it becomes too much. And so I'm going to make sure we get rid of that overwhelm today. Now, the problem really isn't email itself. It's actually the way that we think about email. And so I had to do a bit of belief breaking in this process as I got myself down to 9 minutes a day. It's not about me clicking faster. It has been about the way that I see email. And so the first belief that I had to break was that email is important. That is so hard to let go of because you might think, yeah, email is not important. But if you were spending a lot of time on email like I was, then you probably do have the belief that certain emails are really important and you need to read them and you need to get the perfect reply to them or you need to file them away for later. And the question that really helped me break my belief that email is important was asking myself, do I want to read this email more than I want to go after my dreams? Because that is what is actually on the line. If I spend 6 years of my 40-year working career on email, there is a good chance that I'm not ever going to achieve some of the really important things that matter to me. And I don't want that to happen. So when I evaluate an email and I'm looking at it going, do I actually want to reply to this? Do I actually want to spend time filing this and managing this? Or do I want to spend that time on something that actually matters to me? It just put everything in perspective. So that's the first one. You have got to stop seeing email as important because it is not. Nobody is going to die if you don't reply to that email. Nobody is going to die if you don't read through all your emails. It's just not that important. So the second belief that I had to break was that my inbox was a to-do list. And this one was super subconscious. I didn't even realize that I had it. But after a while, I noticed that I was seeing my inbox like a list of things to do. But eventually I realized it's kind of like having someone drop off their dirty laundry on my front doorstep every morning. And I'm just like rifling through it, going like, yeah, let me check this, let me wash this, let me organize this and file this one away and fold this. Why am I doing other people's dirty laundry, especially not as an important task of my day? I do not want to be doing that. So I refuse to use my inbox as a to-do list anymore. And I'm going to break down exactly how to do that today. But those are the first two things that you have got to believe. If you don't let go of the belief that your email is important and that it's a to-do list, none of this is going to work. Okay, so the first thing that needs to be done is as a setup process before I teach you what I actually do day to day is you have to go into your email and archive everything. Click the button to select all of the emails that are in your inbox and hit archive. And you might even be like, well, I don't mind having a ton of emails in my inbox. I hear people say this all the time. I don't need to be at inbox zero, which if you don't know that term, inbox zero just means having a completely clear inbox, no emails in there at all. And I do that every single day. And some people are like, I don't need to do that. But here is why I argue that you should. If you allow emails to sit in your inbox, the next time you go to look for an email, your brain has to read through the titles, the subject lines of all the emails that you receive. And even though that might seem like just a really small task, your brain's reading and rereading and rereading all of the same emails over and over again for absolutely no reason. It does not need to do that. Give your brain a clean slate when it's time to actually manage what emails are in there. Just give it the ones that it actually needs to look through. It's like going to process your laundry and having everyone else's laundry still sitting around so you can't tell what's clean and what's dirty. Like, don't do that. You want to archive everything. So archiving everything is the fastest way just to get back to clean. If you imagine a house, it's like you're just putting all your clothes and all your furniture into a storage container. It is not deleting it all. It's not like you're throwing it all away, because you can still search for that. So if you ever need it, you can always search for what you're looking for, but your brain has to actively be looking for it. We're not using this as this kind of like torturous to-do list device where it's like constantly all these things you think you have to do. If it's important enough, you can search for it. Otherwise, it does not need to sit in the inbox. So that is kind of the prerequisite that you have to start with before I can teach you the actual system that I use. Okay, so once you've got a completely clear, beautiful new inbox, you're going to start to get new emails in. I recommend that you schedule specific times to check your email. It's up to you how frequently you want to check it, but you want to actually have scheduled that on your calendar for a particular time, or know when you're going to actually check your email so you're not just continuously checking it throughout the day. So when you do go to check it and there's 25 emails sitting in there, how do you manage it in 9 minutes? Here is what I do. You're going to systematically look through every email in your inbox one by one and deal with them in the order. It doesn't matter whether you start at the top or the bottom, but you're going to go systematically through them one by one, not ignoring any email. The entire process of managing your email all comes down to decisions. It is about making quick decisions in your inbox. So the first phase is the response phase. Either you're going to reply right now with what I call a minimum viable email. So that's just the simplest email that you can possibly think of. Doesn't need to have greetings, doesn't need to be spelt right. You're just replying as quickly as you can. Or if you can't reply in that moment because maybe you need more time or research, you're going to add onto your calendar a time to respond. So 2 p.m. on Tuesday, I'm going to reply to John. You're actually setting it as a task on your agenda rather than just letting it clog up your inbox and make you feel anxious every time you see it because you haven't done that task yet. So that is phase 1. Respond or plan time to respond. Phase 2 is clear. You're going to delete or archive everything. So anything that's not important just gets deleted immediately. Anything that you cannot respond to right now, but you've scheduled into a calendar, that's going to get archived, or something that maybe you want to keep for later in case you need to search it, that gets archived too. Those are your options, delete or archive. There is one other thing you can do, which you may be familiar with, but probably not doing frequently enough, which is unsubscribing. If you notice yourself deleting the same emails over and over again, you've got to unsubscribe. And I know this might sound tedious, like, I know to unsubscribe. That's not news, Sarah. But I want you to be ruthless about it. This is what has taken me from an hour a day at least on email down to 9 minutes, is that I have been completely ruthless with my question, do I want to read this email more than I want to go after my dream? Do I need to receive this email from this person every single week or however often they're sending the emails? Is it actually helping me towards my dream? I send emails multiple times a week to my email list, and I hope that everybody who's on there is reading them and thinking, this is exactly what I wanted to read today. I'm so glad I read this email. This is a good use of my time. I don't even mind if people unsubscribe. It's a good thing. It means that they weren't paying attention to the emails anyway. You want to make sure you're only getting top tier stuff into your inbox every day, because this is your life we are talking about. This is going to take up so much of your time, if not. And do you really want to spend that time reading that email? Is it really that important? So here's my challenge to you. For the next week, I want you to set a timer when you check your email and see how fast you can get yourself to check it. Go in with the intention of, I'm going to spend 9 minutes clearing this thing out to 0. And then get out as fast as you can. Because even just timing myself really helped me see how slow I was being at. Like reading emails I didn't really need to read and replying to things I didn't really need to reply to. So go and archive all of your emails, get your inbox completely clear, and then as emails come in, when it's time to check your email, use the 2-phase system. Phase 1, respond. Either reply right now or schedule a time to reply. And phase 2, clear. Either delete or archive. immediately. It's all gotta go. And if you can do this in less than 9 minutes, send me a message because I want to hear from you. I want to hear all about what you're doing to manage your emails even faster than I've been able to manage mine. All right, that is my challenge for you. Go set a timer, see if you can get it down to 9 minutes a day, and get rid of that overwhelm that comes with having way too much email. And if there's just one thing you take away from this conversation, let it be the question, do I want to read this email more than I want to go after my dreams? All right, that's it for today, and I will talk to you in the next video.